Selara led me to the Arena of Echoes, a natural amphitheater carved from the jagged red stone of Xylar. 9. The locals, a scattered settlement of miners and scavengers, whispered warnings about the warriors of her clan. But no one dared intervene. They watched silently as she activated the energy barriers, enclosing the arena. "Know this, human," Selara said, twirling her glaive effortlessly. "I am undefeated in 120 duels. You are merely entertainment." I tightened my grip on the anti-grav baton I had salvaged from my ship, a weapon primitive compared to her plasma glaive, but it was all I had. "You may think me weak," I said, "but humans survive because we adapt. Let's see who learns faster today." Her lips curved in a subtle, amused smile, and I realized this duel was about more than survival. It was a test. Perhaps she had never faced a human willing to meet her challenge head-on. The duel. The battle began with a flurry of movement. Selara struck first, her glaive slicing through the air with a hum that made the ground beneath us tremble. I dodged, rolled, and swung my baton, relying on instinct rather than skill. The energy blade clashed against my baton with sparks flying, the sound deafening in the enclosed arena. She moved with grace and precision, every strike calculated to test my reaction. I realized quickly that brute force would not win this duel. I had to predict her moves, anticipate patterns, and exploit her overconfidence. Minutes, or was it hours, passed. My arms ached, my lungs burned, but I kept moving. Humans have a strange resilience, a stubbornness honed through millennia of survival against impossible odds. And that stubbornness was paying off. Selara's strikes became sharper, faster, but so did my counters. I noticed subtle patterns in her stance, slight shifts in weight that betrayed her next move. Using these observations, I managed to deflect a strike that would have ended me. Sparks flew, and I stumbled back, panting, but I saw the tiniest flicker of impressed surprise in her eyes. "You adapt quickly," she said mid-motion. "Not bad, human." I smirked. "Flattery won't save you." The duel escalated. I used my environment, the jagged stones, the shifting sands, to gain leverage. I dodged, rolled, and improvised traps, relying on human ingenuity instead of raw strength. One misstep could mean death, but fear had no grip on me. I was focused, aware, alive. Finally, in a moment of split-second intuition, I feigned a strike, baiting Selara into a slight misstep. With a swift pivot and a precise swing, I knocked her glaive aside, sending it skittering across the arena. The crowd gasped. Selara froze. She had been defeated. By a human. The reward. I expected her to attack me anyway, to reclaim honor through some unspoken warrior code. Instead, she stepped back, lowered her eyes, and gave a single nod. "You win," she said quietly. "By the rules, the victor claims their reward." I blinked. "Your reward?" She tilted her head, her gaze intense. "If you win, human, I will spend the night in your tent." My mind spun. I had expected glory, survival, maybe the admiration of her people. But this? I swallowed hard, realizing that her words were not a joke. Virellians did not jest about such matters. I accept," I said finally, laughing nervously. "You fought well." "And you," she replied, a subtle smile playing on her lips, "fought beyond expectation." Most humans would have fallen long before now. That night, as we sat in my modest tent, I learned that the Virellians respected skill and courage above all else. Selara was no exception. Despite her intimidating reputation, she valued bravery, ingenuity, and the ability to remain calm under pressure, qualities humans had in abundance, though rarely recognized by alien civilizations. We shared stories of our worlds, our struggles, and our triumphs. I spoke of Earth's wars, humanity's exploration of space, and our survival against impossible odds. She told of Virellian honor, their clans, and the centuries of training that made them formidable warriors. By the end of the night, we had formed an unspoken bond, born from combat, respect, and mutual recognition of strength. Middle 2. Unexpected alliance. The duel had been a turning point, not just for me, but for the Virellians observing from afar. Word spread quickly. A human had bested Selara in honorable combat. Some were skeptical, others intrigued. Over the next few weeks, Selara invited me to train alongside her elite warriors. They taught me techniques to enhance speed, reflexes, and strategic thinking. In return, I shared human improvisation methods, using unexpected tactics to overcome stronger opponents. Together, we uncovered plots within the Virellian ranks, rival clans attempting to seize power through deceit and assassination. My human perspective, unbiased, unpredictable, proved invaluable. I was no longer just a survivor. I had become an integral part of a galactic web of strategy and diplomacy. Through this alliance, I realized the true reward of the duel was not merely Selara's promise. It was trust, respect, and opportunity, things humans often lack in alien societies. Crisis. Invasion of the Xylar fleet. Our bond was tested when the Xylar fleet, ancient enemies of the Virellians, launched a surprise attack on Xylar. 9. Selara commanded the defense, but the odds were grim. Their forces outnumbered ours 3-1. I stood beside her on the command balcony, scanning incoming ships. "We can't fight them head-on," I said. "We need strategy, deception, and adaptability." She nodded, her eyes narrowing. "Show me what your human mind can do." We devised a plan combining Virellian combat prowess with human ingenuity. I proposed false signals, decoy ships, and synchronized strikes designed to confuse the enemy. Selara trusted me implicitly, a trust forged in combat, not politics. The battle erupted in a storm of lasers, plasma cannons, and tactical maneuvers. Our hybrid strategy worked. The Xylar fleet faltered, disoriented by our unpredictable tactics. Selara led precision strikes, while I directed countermovements and improvised defenses. By nightfall, the enemy was in full retreat. The victory was ours, but it was more than just a military success. It cemented the human-Virellian alliance. Selara turned to me, her voice calm, yet filled with emotion. "You, human, have changed the course of this battle, perhaps even our history. You were fearless when it mattered most." I smiled. All I did was trust my instincts, and maybe not be afraid of a little challenge. Ending, recognition, and legacy. Months later, I was officially recognized as an honorary Virellian strategist, a human who had proven that courage, adaptability, and ingenuity could transcend species and reputation. Selara remained by my side, not as a lover, though our bond was strong, but as an equal, a partner in forging new alliances across the galaxy. The duel had started as a test of survival, but it became a lesson in mutual respect, unexpected rewards, and human potential. I had learned that in the vast galaxy, strength was not just measured by weapons or fleets, but by courage, ingenuity, and the refusal to bow to fear. Selara and I often returned to the arena, not to fight, but to train and share techniques. The humans who came after me on Xylar, 9 would hear the legend. A human faced the mightiest Virellian warrior and emerged victorious, not just in combat, but in trust, respect, and honor. In the end, I realized something profound. Sometimes, the greatest rewards are not trophies, titles, or treasures. They are the connections forged in battle, the respect earned through courage, and the bonds created when two beings, different yet equal, recognize each other's strength. I had entered the arena thinking survival was the prize. I left knowing that honor, friendship, and unexpected alliances were worth far more than victory alone. And somewhere deep in the Virellian archives, the story of the human who won the duel and claimed the respect of a warrior queen would live on for generations, a testament to the fearless heart of humanity.